So what will students experience in the clinical anatomy and imaging sessions? Well, they will experience anatomy, they will experience imaging, and they will be required to use the knowledge they gather in a lecture or they gather in preparing for a Friday session in looking at actual human tissue, which really illustrates many of those important relationships and important concepts that we integrate throughout their curriculum.
The clinical anatomy and imaging curriculum at Warwick is delivered across multiple different formats of teaching. We have lecture theatre based teaching, which allows us to set the scene of what we're delivering to students. It allows us to provide context and actually inspire them and give them interest. Students will experience small group teaching that's incredibly friendly. So they get to interact with their peers, they'll get to interact on close quarters with my colleagues and myself. They get to ask us questions in a very safe environment. So for students, they can get things wrong, and that's okay. This is the place for them to do that. It's also the place for them to refine their knowledge and test their knowledge against people like me, where we're seen as the experts.
There's a lot of focus on teaching anatomy in loads of different ways, which helps you consolidate the knowledge that you're already learning. Looking at anatomy in multiple dimensions really helps you understand it better.
That's one of the great things about coming to study here at Warwick, is that you get this really comprehensive experience, being able to ask questions, you're being able to see things in 3D. And the thing is with anatomy is it's so complex and it's so important to being a medical student and to being a doctor. It's a really formative experience for us to have here, and I'll take it with me for my whole career.
For me, this is the best way to have it. Have a good process of, in a lecture, read everything, get taught, draw it out, and then come here to see what it actually is. And that solidifies everything quite nicely.
We're always trying to point students to those tough aha moments where a student might struggle to get to an answer, where a student might have 6 pieces they have to put together, and when they finally collide and come together because of a little bit of a lecture, a little bit of a Friday session, a Monday medical imaging session, and a drawing activity, something clicks. And finally, they're able to see how these things intertwine, how it tells a bigger story. And so we hope to facilitate in the curriculum many little aha moments.